Okay, here's a quick look at the market for Wednesday, August the 25th, 2010. We had suggested that the 1053 to 1055 area could very well act as resistance. This is yesterday's profile. This is today's profile. This is what occurred overnight. So you can see that the high was made here right around 1055 overnight, so that resistance held pretty nicely. Our next target down was around 38, right in here. So you can see the market from that area of resistance did have a nice sell-off overnight, didn't quite reach it overnight, and then just took it out by about a point in the regular trading hours here after the RTH had opened here, and then had this dip off of the news. Turned right around, had a pretty good day higher. So our next area of resistance is in around 58, and we're looking at monitoring anything from 58 down to 52 and then down to 48. So those are our key numbers that we're looking at tomorrow. Still today with the downward bias. And of course we're holding that through till tomorrow as well. We also like to use these market profiles on the regular trading hours only. Here is our software here showing our trades. You can see these arrows here. They appear in real time as the trades are set up. So you can see the first one here is a blue arrow, that's up. The next one was a down arrow, red, that's a sell. The third one here is a blue arrow up. And you can see the other arrows that we had here for the rest of the day. So the market gave us our first trade early in the session right here. It did fill us and then rally 2.5 points in our favor, so we had a nice profit on that trade. That was a long trade, so the first one was a long trade. The second one that was set up and filled was right here. It's a short trade. It was after the market had rejected lower prices, although still in the intraday down auction we went ahead and took that trade. It did move a point and 3/4 for us right away, so it did reach our first two objectives, so a nice little profit on that one. Our third trade, that was number 2. Our third trade here was an entry right here. Now this particular trade, some of our traders were filled here, some weren't. Some got filled a little later, in which case they got stopped out. But it was basically a good trade coming down to test that dip lower where the market had rejected prices, and then had that good rally higher. So actually ended up with a nice little profit on that trade. This next one, the fourth trade, though, however, we did get stopped out on this one. We got long up in here after it had moved up, and it just didn't have the legs in it at that time. It needed to pull back to here before it had that next rally higher. So unfortunately on that particular trade we're stopped out. The short one right here, it did take us out by one tick here and then had this nice move down. So that was our fifth trade, and we were stopped on this one. The fourth trade here was actually it was a break even. It was the fifth trade here that we were stopped out on. It was got kind of two-stepped on that because we had a nice short entry in here. It just took us out by a tick and then had that down move. So rather unfortunate. But we did have a great trade here, which I'm sorry, I'm missing out one other trade that we did have. There was another short trade. This is actually the sixth trade in here. The final trade over here. This was our seventh trade. So this trade turned out to be a break even. It was a short in here. It was based off the 10-minute. That's why you don't see an arrow. And then it filled our first objective, stopped us out here, and then had a nice move lower. So unfortunately weren't able to participate in that down move in either of these trades. Somewhat unfortunate, but that's kind of how it goes sometimes. We did catch a really great trade here. We actually had 3 indications to get short. We were able to get short right here on the dip and immediately bounced very nicely for us. So really a nice profit on that to finish off the day. These other trades were really way too late in the day. They were just a few minutes before the cash closing, and you want to cut off those trades about 15 minutes before the top of the hour. So all in all, not a bad day of trading, and use those reference points that we were mentioning that could have some resistance. I mean, we basically hit the resistance. We got up to 57.75, and 58 is our resistance area. So We're going to monitor in and around 51, 52, and then down at 48. Those are our other support areas. Any questions or comments, please get a hold of us. Always enjoy hearing from you. We can be reached at info@eminidaytrader.com, and of course our phone number is on the website as well. So thanks for taking some time to view the video, and we'll see you again tomorrow.